Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Jenny Runovich in for Scott. Well, tonight, Amazon announced they're putting down some big money here in the Hoosier State. $15 billion to be invested in northern Indiana for, you guessed it, data centers. But as our Alex Almanza reports, the exact location is still a mystery.
It's a $15 billion promise with a big question mark attached to it. Where is Amazon putting their new data center campuses? In a press release on Monday, Amazon did not give specifics on where they're going to build, except that it would be in northern Indiana. Governor Mike Braun says this project will create thousands of jobs while, quote, supporting thousands more across the region, further strengthening Indiana's position in energy dominance and economic leadership. St. Joseph County Council President Dan Schetzel confirms to 13 News the project isn't being brought to his county.
Watch what's happened here, learn from it, work with your local officials.
Schetzel represents a district that is already home to one of the world's largest Amazon data centers, and there's more pressure coming. Another developer is now pushing to build even more data center space on top of that. But this year, that new Carlisle project hit a wall. An unfavorable recommendation from the Redevelopment Commission. Schetzel says he expects the county council to reject it too.
We really have to be careful because I think the council as a whole understands we really need to slow down and just digest what we've already approved.
As for Amazon's new $15 billion project, the tech giant says it will pay to build everything required to power it. The new plants, the new transmission lines, all of it. NIPSCO, the utility, plans to add up to 3 gigawatts of new power generation. Amazon is expected to use about 2.4 gigawatts of that. Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Right now, it is unclear if that more than half of a gigawatt power NIPSCO generates will go back into the grid for everyone else to use. Meanwhile, Amazon did not answer Alex's questions as to the timeline of this project. Of course, we'll keep you posted. Tonight, there are more concerns about where billions of gallons of water will come from for the LEAP business project in Boone County. Now, the state's original plans called for a pipeline to bring the water from the Wabash River, but that was tabled over the project's cost and secrecy. Our senior investigative reporter Bob Siegel here tonight. So you have details of a new plan that's also raising some questions.
Yeah, and that plan is well underway, and it's really catching some people off guard and by surprise because it hits close to home, as in right through their front yard. These pink markers on the northwest side of Indianapolis are a sign of things to come. They show where Citizens Energy is about to start knocking down trees and installing 52 miles of underground pipes to provide lots of water to the city of Lebanon.
We have committed to 25 million gallons a day.
Ben Easley is a spokesman for Citizens. He says the project is called the Lebanon Water Supply Program, which will pump water north to support the LEAP Industrial Project. But to supply that water, about 475 property owners in Marion, Hendricks, Boone, and Hamilton counties will have their land dug up to install the underground transmission pipes, which in some cases will be only steps from their front door.
Could be as close as 20 to 25 feet close to my house.
Residents like this one agreed to speak with 13 News as long as they're not identified. Many say they're nervous after getting letters with an ultimatum. Either sell Citizens Energy the legal right to install underground pipes on their property, or Citizens will file a lawsuit to get that right through eminent domain.
We're still negotiating. Hopefully things may be somehow settled here soon.
The new water lines will impact a historic part of Indianapolis, and concern extends well beyond the neighborhood.
I am most curious of how it'll impact the Eagle Creek watershed. I know that that's our drinking water. We absolutely love coming to Eagle Creek. We want to make sure that there's still water in Eagle Creek for decades to come.
They worry about Eagle Creek because the project outlined by Citizens Energy includes expanding capacity at this water treatment plant that sits on the reservoir. A big surprise to the advisory committee at Eagle Creek Park.
We've heard nothing.
Lou Ann Baker is a park advisor. She wants to know what removing millions of gallons of extra water will mean for Eagle Creek.
The reservoir is a living, thriving ecosystem. And so any change to that ecosystem to draw more water out or potentially put more water in from wastewater, which we've heard is also an option, is a concern to us without any additional knowledge.
She also worries about the plan's impact on the 1.5 million people who visit and use the park each year. People like Eugene Collins, who fishes, hikes, and kayaks at Eagle Creek Park. He says recent drought has already resulted in low water levels, so a plan to remove more water.
It's atrocious, man. I mean, look at this lake. Look at the level. You know, it's already low enough.
Water levels are usually low this time of year, but not this low. This area that looks like a beach is usually underwater.
This is as low as it's been during the past 10-year period.
Martin Risch is a retired hydrologist and a park advisor. He also worries about pulling more water out of the reservoir.
We're just really hungry for facts right now.
It would be appropriate for someone to explain what's the plan. If you're installing pipe in less than 6 weeks, surely you have a plan that you have the confidence to share with the public.
Can you understand why people have some confusion and questions?
Absolutely, yeah.
Citizens Energy says it has a website that explains the Lebanon Water Supply Program, with information that's been online for months.
There are multiple pieces to this overall program.
But while the website clearly says Lebanon will receive 25 million gallons of water a day within the next 6 years, one detail is missing.
Where is that water going to come from? I think that's a fair question.
Water will come into the citizens' distribution system in the way that it always comes into the distribution system from 10 different central Indiana water resources that we have.
Easley says he cannot pinpoint exactly where all the water for the Lebanon project will originate because Citizens draws water from multiple sources, with Eagle Creek Reservoir being just one. He says Citizens currently taps into Eagle Creek for about 10 million gallons a day, and that amount will grow to between 11 and 13 million gallons a day once the Lebanon project is complete, with little or no impact on the ecosystem of the reservoir.
The amount that we're taking out is very much in line with the amount that we know is newly coming into the reservoir since the time it was designed and built. There is no need for concern.
But there is still concern, largely because so much of the plan still has not been communicated to the public.
So we're hearing questions about cost, about environmental impact, the timeline. What are you learning about that?
Yeah, I asked all those questions to Citizens Energy, and we've got more details posted right now at WTHR.com.
All right, Bob, thanks.
Rain on radar right now. Some of the steadiest rain falling north of Indianapolis. So that's our first local stop. We will go north and show you some of the steadier rain from Logansport to Peru. A few showers just northeast of Lafayette. We also have a few showers to the south of Indianapolis, Columbus over to Greensburg into Westport. A few extra minutes to get to work and school tomorrow morning because of wet roads. The rain will continue off and on during the day tomorrow, so grab the umbrella. Highs in the 50s.
Thanks, Angela. A Morgan County woman will spend more than a decade in prison for planning a school shooting at Mooresville High School. 19-year-old Trinity Shockley was sentenced today to 12 years in prison, plus 5 years of mental health probation. Shockley pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. Evidence against her included Google searches and screenshots of guns on Shockley's phone. In the courtroom today, Shockley got emotional, apologizing to the community and her classmates. She says she's getting help for her mental health, and the Morgan County Chief Deputy Prosecutor says her sentence is for the best.
Felt like it was a fair outcome. And in this case, there was a significant amount of planning that was involved. So I tried to match the plea agreement to that.
Shockley is now in the Morgan County Jail while she waits to be moved to a state prison. Here's a quick look at other stories making headlines right now. The Madison County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a man was shot and killed during a domestic situation. Police say someone called 911 and said he shot 40-year-old Curtis Rose inside an Elwood home after he tried to intervene. The Madison County prosecutor is now reviewing the case. We've just learned in the last few hours the Tippecanoe County coroner's preliminary findings suggest a man involved in a police shooting took his own life. Police tracked Rodolfo Requenes Jr. back to this apartment complex last Friday after he took off from a traffic stop. Police say he made threats to harm himself and reached for a weapon. State Police and Lafayette Police now investigating. Indy DPW tells us the Washington Street Bridge is partially reopened. One lane of traffic is now moving in each direction, and crews are wrapping up the final touches. The rest of the lanes should open in the next few days. Indigo also making some upgrades. 22 bus stops are now ADA compliant to make sure everyone can use them. This is all part of the Near East Side Bus Stop Improvement Project. Next year, they'll focus on bus stops and new pedestrian traffic signals for the Far East Side. And check this out, the Keystone Cooperative making a major donation to food banks in Muncie, Fort Wayne, Lafayette, and South Bend. They're giving out 2,000 pounds of ground pork sausage plus $1,000 from the Land O'Lakes Foundation. You can always find these stories and more at WTHR.com and on our 13 News app.